Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hi, blood. To be honest, I could be a little bit better, and I'm gonna say why. I feel like something always has to happen, right? Something always has to happen with me. So over the weekend, I can't remember what day it was. Scripts keep saying Friday, but I honestly can't remember what day it happened for me because my days are getting jumbled. But I know that it was like over the weekend. I was feeling so besides me having like foot stuff going on, a chingling. Hold it. There's a chingling on the loose. And I must catch it with an ultra ball. And I always have to make sure I spell it right. Anyway. Yeah. So this game is like not wanting to cooperate with me for like visual stuff. Anyway, so it was, you're saying it's Friday. Was it Friday night? Because then that would be after we got, that would be after, no, wait, we didn't get, that's why my days are jumbled. Okay. So, man, I hate having to process stuff. So, besides me having foot stuff going on, something else that happened to me is that there was a point, I'm trying to see if I should do the long one or the short one. Probably the short one. So, I've also had, yes, I caught the chingling. Nice. I've also had back problems. Honestly, probably since I was like younger. But yeah, so I have had back problems on and off, but I've been taking care of it, right? And I've been noticing when they start coming up again. So I started noticing, hey, I'm having some lower back pain, probably because I'm not doing my daycare job anymore, so I'm not able to get up and move around. I'm sitting down and I'm making videos and stuff all day. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna hit it before it comes and gets me again, you know? And it's always lower back problems. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch it before it gets me. All right? I'm gonna catch it before it gets me. I'm on it. So what I do is, normally it's not a lot. I just grab a heating pad and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a heating pad. I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna take a nap. Okay? I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna take a nap. So, I take the heating pad. I lay down and I take a nap. It's not much. So, I lay down. I take a nap. But, when I wake up, lo and behold, I wake up and I have upper back problems for some reason. Upper back problems. Thank you, Scripps. Thank you. Upper back problems. And it's like a really sharp, not at the time. It was like really bad aching pain between my shoulder blades. So it's like, what is going on? So, okay, I said I'd make the story short. So I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, okay, I'll brush it off, whatever. So I sit down and I keep making videos, but it's weird. I can't sit in my chair. I try to ignore it. I sit down in my chair and I keep trying to make videos. And I'm like so close to being done. But no. It won't let me. So I'm like, I literally freeze. I'm like, I literally am like, I stay like this, literally like this. I'm like, ugh, I can't move. Literally, I'm in like an awkward position because it hurts so bad. It becomes an aching pain to a sharp pain. So I am like, okay, maybe I need to lay down. I lay down. Nope, same thing. I lay down and it's horrible. I can't even like move a little bit. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's really bad. It's really, really bad. So I'm like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. The only reason I said hospital was because, what are they called? Urgent cares or whatever? Urgent cares aren't available. It's after hours or whatever. So, go to the hospital. So, yay, I got to go to the hospital over the weekend. Yay. So, I went from lower back problems to upper back problems. Overall, they were muscle spasms. And apparently, those are things that you get in car accidents. Those are things that you get in car accidents. Oh, those are things that you get in car accidents. Usually, those are things that you get in car accidents. But they can come in other things too. Those are things that you can get in other things too. It's really weird how you can get back problems. You can get them if you like move suddenly, in my case, sit incorrectly and things like that. If your body just doesn't align correctly, which is one of the reasons I got my back problems. I think I pretty much know what caused mine. Stress, anxiety, things like that. I'm pretty sure that's what caused mine while I was sleeping. So, yeah, I got to go to the hospital. Fun. So, that's pretty much what mine was like. But, who had to follow in my footprints when that happened? You want to know who followed in or should I say paw prints? Who had to follow in my paw prints? My son. My lovable son. My son. So we have 9 cats. My direct descendant. My direct child. The first in line to take my witch hat is Lord Blossom Von Yum Yums. So my son also decided to go to the emergency. Well, I don't know if it's like emergency vet, but yeah, he also decided to go to the vet, and I don't know, but and that was just today alone. Yeah, wonderful summer so far. But yeah, he had to go to the vet. He's having, I guess, the cat version of like kidney stones. They're called crystals, which are not the good kind of crystals. I gotta click over here, I always forget. Not the fun kind of crystals like these. Pretty. No. He had to do the other ones that kind of like block him from like going to the bathroom and stuff. Yeah. Fortunately, Scribbs and I noticed immediately his behavior was different. Normally, he's a pig. He's a pig when he eats. He did not eat this morning. No. And that's not like him. He eats his meal first thing. Hi, Noah. How are you? Normally, he eats his breakfast first thing in the morning. He did not eat his breakfast first thing this morning. He's not a chonk. He's a hungry hippo. Normally, he eats his breakfast. He did not eat his breakfast. That's not like him at all. And then when we came to check in on him, he went to the litter box, but then left immediately, and then went back in and like tried to go again. Normally, that's a really bad sign. So keep an eye on your pets. Really notice their behaviors. Did you want to chat about it? It's kind of like an off day for me as well, Noah. Had to go to the emergency room because I had more back problems. And now my cat also had to go to the vet for emergency stuff as well, which is what I'm talking about. We noticed that he was going in the litter box, going in and out, and wasn't able to go, so we noticed. Oh, no! How dare you? How dare y'all? If you're gonna transform me into a cat, at least make it the black one. I like the black one. Meow. Meow. But yeah, my son. Actually, my son is, he kind of looks like this, except imagine gray fur on the top of his head to his tail. It's pretty much what he looks like. he would appreciate me being a cat. I don't know, honestly. Yum Yums is... I feel like he's more human than cat. He doesn't really get along with other... I want to say he doesn't get along with other cats. He's kind of weird that way. I raised him pretty much with other people than cats. See, now he's more with other cats. But for the first couple of years of his life, he's pretty much more people-oriented. Ah, bug bites! Ah, no, I feel ya. I feel ya, Noah. You taking anything for that? No, I definitely feel that. No, those are... Ugh, no, I feel that. Ugh. Are they... What kind of bug bites? Are they, like, really itchy? I feel that. Ugh. I hope you're getting something for it, but I totally feel you on that. I would be so frustrated. I've had things like that before. It's definitely really annoying. And now I can get to a certain point. No. Yeah. No. That's the thing, though. I know it's easier said than done. But don't think about it. And what helps to not think about it is doing other things. Keeping your mind occupied, helping with that is keeping your hands occupied, doing things you like to do, hanging out with other people, things like that. And yeah, like I said, it's easier said than done, but to do that, you have to do things in order to do it. But yeah, so we took our cat to the vet, and lo and behold, yeah, he's we did a good job in catching it beforehand. He definitely had some stuff going on, and what I'm sad about is that they're keeping him overnight. I know he doesn't like that. So we're going to give him lots of loves and stuff when he's able to come back. So far so good, though. The vet said that we caught it very early on. So take very good care of your pets. Keep an eye on them. You don't have to overdo it, but if you notice small changes in your pets, don't just ignore it, okay? Don't just ignore it. Just keep an eye on it. For us, that was a very big behavior change for him. A very big behavior change. We knew right away. So we definitely knew not to ignore that. Top priority. Itchy spots, and it's really annoying and itches. Are you using like an anti-itch cream or anything? The funny thing is that Scribs and I, we have two things. We have an anti-itch cream that also has an antibiotic. That works for me, but it does not work for Scribs. But we have also an anti-itch liquid. It's just an anti-itch liquid. But it does not work for me. But it works for Scribs. And with that story, I'm saying find what works for you if you haven't already. I appreciate it, Scribs. Yeah, if you haven't found one, Noah, I'd recommend that. If it's not really working so far, try something else. I know it's really distracting when your body is in some kind of sort of disturbance or pain. I know that for sure, especially with my back pain. I have had a hard time just being happy. With my back pain, I've had a hard time being happy. This is the second experience I'm having. When I had my lower back pain, it was honestly really terrible. Really terrible. I would not wish that upon anybody, to be honest. Just being in pain in general, I had a hard time being happy. I had a hard time being myself, enjoying anything. But once you find something to enjoy a little bit, it gets a little bit better. Once you find something to alleviate the pain even a little bit, or to distract you from it that you enjoy even a little bit, it gets better from there. You just have to find or do something with it, is the thing. Ooh, that reminds me, because the transformation did happen with this cat. I'm thinking of doing another transformation. But right now I'm working on getting the rights to it and getting it finalized. Scripps has done a lot of the editing for this model, but I'm working on getting the full rights to it right now. So I'm hoping to get that all done in August. It's going to be a short one because it's more of a summer thing right now. So I'm thinking of getting it released in August. It's in the works. And then doing a September model release as well. Not sure how long the September one is going to go, though. Not sure how long that one's going to go. But yeah, that's all in the works. And I think we're probably done about chatting now. I was working on the... Oh, it's a Cubchoo! A Cubchoo has come down. I was working on the sewing. I was gonna say VTubing. I was working on the sewing streaming, but it was way too big. My desk is not big enough for something like that. And anywhere else that we would have it, there wasn't enough lighting for it. So I think I'm just going to switch that with voice acting. So I'm going to practice voice acting for this one. Ooh, you're relaxing on your bed? That's nice, Blood. That's nice. Weird question for everyone. Just because I like knowing the answer to these. Do you prefer a firm mattress, so like a firm, hard mattress, a soft mattress, or something in between? I myself prefer a soft mattress. I like feeling like I'm on a cloud. I've had less back problems, but unfortunately I found out that if you do have a back problem that suddenly happens, you do need a hard mattress. I'm not happy about that. But I do prefer soft. I like a nice soft mattress like I'm on a pillow. I really like these cat models. This is fun. VTubing is fun. Anyway, that's my question. What kind of mattress do you like or have? I prefer soft myself. I've tried all three. Soft is the best. No one can change my mind. Ever. I'm going to take a self-hydrate because I've been terrible this week for hydrating purposes. Oh, also, I'm really mad, playfully mad, because I was hoping to stream tomorrow too, but then my boss ruined it. One of my bosses ruined that dream I had, because they made me work. They're gonna make me work tomorrow, and I'm not happy. But, you know what, it is what it is. So we'll do what we can do. Speaking of which, let's play Winter's Wish Spirits of Edo. And, you know what? I'm probably going to need my glasses for this. We're going to practice some voice acting with it. I did learn a little bit about singing. Right now I'm going to practice breathing from my diaphragm. Memory foam? I want to see what that's like. I've always wanted to see what memory foam feels like, but I'm never sure. What's memory foam like? I still like this song. I want to finish this game so bad, but everything else is taking up for my time. How many more do you need for your collection, Blood? How many more do you need for the collection? Ah! We're back to Witch. There we go. We're on 6 out of like 7 or 8, so we should be near the end for this one. We were gonna watch a play. We're gonna find out the history, his story from Kabu, which is not good because he's not supposed to have his memories. He needs to not have them in order to fight as a good weapon. I watched my first Jorori puppet play after going to the Kabu Theater to visit Kenji. Inside the puppet theater was just as lively as the Kabu performance had been.
浄瑠璃は髪型。西の方から始まったものなんですよ。最近こうして江戸にも小屋ができて、
Interesting.
歌舞伎役者としては商売敵ですね。
Do you have to are you buying them one at a time when you have the money, or do you hunt them down? Are they hard to find?
そうそう。そもそも浄瑠璃と歌舞伎って公的主導詞なんだよ。浄瑠璃の演目を歌舞伎でやったり、歌舞伎の演出を浄瑠璃が取り入れたり。で、そんな話してる場合じゃなかった。光重、一体どういうことだ。源十郎の持ち主の話をしてくれるんじゃないの？
His owner. Seriously? That's what we're supposed to be doing, but Miyagi's brought out all the entertainment district to watch a play for some reason? However, Kuga, the person this is all revolved around, was just sitting in the dark, staring at the stage very seriously without any complaints. Oh, they're not all released yet. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Do they sell out immediately? I know when they sell merch for Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, they sometimes sell out immediately, which I get so mad about. Anyway, maybe I should take this seriously and watch? Then the play began, which went roughly like this. I'm going to try to take a different position for this one. Though the Ronin Gengaomao Akori's swordsmanship was second to none, his adoptive father Yukin Akori found his arrogance concerning. Yukin turned to... I like having to say all these names. Yukin turned to Yuhumi Ishii, a man renowned for his good character, for his help in reciting the Ronin's behavior. To test the Gengaoman's mettle, Yumen sent him back from whence he came. However, Gomen didn't much care for this. Gomen challenged Yumen to the duel and was beaten. Resentful about his loss, he ambushed Yumen on the street at night and killed him. Yumen, murdered out of undue hatred, left behind 4 sons. To avenge their loving father, his 2 oldest sons, Sanojin and Hiko Shiichi, challenged Gengoman to a duel. Alas, Gengoman beat him at his own game, and Sanojin breathed his last. This story alone is reminding me of Birushana to an extent, with the brother character a little bit. Yeah, I hate when you have to wait for restock, because with my memory, I'm gonna forget real fast. That and scalpers. I hate scalpers. Hikiyoshi managed to survive, only to be caught in a storm on his quest to change down Gengoman and drowned. I am gonna mention one more thing before I continue. With my back concerns, I'm not sure how long my back is gonna last with streaming. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. I'm gonna try not to push myself, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I may take more breaks to give my back some rest, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep going and not push myself. Despite mere infants with their father was murdered, Genzo and his younger brother Hanzo resolved to take matters into their own hands. After many trials and tribulations, the two of them finally succeeding in killing Gengaumon Akahiru, avenging their father 29 years after his death. So is this a never-ending battle then? I sat in stunned silence, rooted to the spot as the curtains fell and the audience around us began to leave the tent. What was that?
この道中評判の敵討ちは20年ほど前に実際にあった事件を元にして作られた話なんだ。
Miyagi slowly began to speak. The entire Oniwa had been honed in on the sound of Miyagi's voice, after having paid attention to the puppet play.
しかし事実と違う点も多い。まず四男の半蔵
Ooh,
は
form
上
folk.
門の実の息子じゃなくて形人だった。
Ooh, that's nice. They're selling a Kuromi pop figure at GameStop, which I'm surprised GameStop is still relevant, to be honest. But yeah, I'm waiting for a Kuromi pop figure at GameStop.
そして結末についてだけど、半蔵と源蔵は源五右衛門を倒せなかった。二人とも父や兄と同じように殺されてしまった。子供の頃から仇を追い続けて結局殺されてしまうなんて哀れだと当時はとても話題になったそうでね。それで劇にした作家が見た人を喜ばせるような内容に変えたんだろう。あと源五右衛門が脇差しを奪う描写がなかったけど、それは単に
Ooh.
後世の人
Genma
に
was
語
never
り継がれなか
depicted
っただ
stealing
けだ
a
ろうね。
wakizashi in the play, but that's only because the dead don't talk.
それを宮地殿が知っているということは。
ああ、みんなも気づいているだろうが、この物語は源十郎の元の持ち主と半蔵の因縁を描いたものになっている。赤堀源五右衛門こそ源十郎の元になった道具の持ち主なんだ。
Ooh, what kind of Kuromi mug? I wonder if I have it. Kuka must have been prepared to hear that since the moment he heard the name Taramine Asama leave Hanzo's lips. But his owner not only stole the precious object he came from, he killed the person who forged it. If I were in Kuka's shoes, I would have been praying there would be some kind of mistake. But the truth had been forced onto him, and there was no way to hide it from it.
光重は分かってたわけ。半蔵とかいう形人が現れて源十郎を源五右衛門って敵扱いし始めた時から。
すまない。俺は源十郎の元になった脇差しがどういった経緯で幕府のものになったのか聞いていた。だから
Huh. That explains what happened when we first talked to him about Hanzo. The color of Miyagi's emotional threads usually matched what he said, but they'd been a slightly different color then.
その経緯を私にもお聞かせ願えますか。
Kuka asked Miyagi quietly. He may have been quiet, but
宮地殿。
そうだね。俺の知っていることは全て教えるという約束だった。
Huh, I haven't heard of that one. Hmm.
さっき半蔵とその兄が源五右衛門に返り討ちにされたことが哀れまれて事件が有名になったと言っただろ。それで過去の悪事も知られて源五右衛門は住んでいた藩から追い出されたそうだ。その後しばらくは傘職人などをして生計を立てていたようだが、すでに病気で亡くなったそうだよ。
Hold on, I forgot what I just read. This is one thing that I didn't really care for in Date Everything, is that they don't let you go back and read the dialogue. Ooh, okay.
なるほど。よくわかりました。
I hope he's okay after hearing all of that. I was concerned he knew too much about his past now, and was worried his past might even have been a painful one for him to know. Miyaji seemed to feel the same way. I didn't even need to check his threads. I could tell by the look on his face.
まさか道中評判の敵討ちにこんな真実があったとは。とりあえず来た甲斐はありましたね。
Ooh, I like the name alone. Cotton candy colors. They always seem so pretty for the design and colors for Cookie Run.
女型の目立つ劇じゃないし、キクリアではやらなそうだけどな。
Although the entertainment crew seemed unbothered, or should I say, vessel-like as ever.
まあ、俺たちの出自なんてみんなそんなものさ。
I bet you've always wanted to say that
源
he's
十郎だけ
not
が特別
special.
というわけじゃない。
うん。もしかしたらマ
Even
シ
better.
な方かも。
はあ、本当にその通りだよ。だからあそこで話を終わらせておけばよかったのに。
I guess Tojo and Yuichi are bothered by it too. Although Tomonari appeared to simply be giving his thoughts. This may be the first time I've ever seen Vessel show concern for another vessel. I guess that's why Kuga's reacting a little bit differently than he did before. Days had gone by in a flash since Hanzo. Now his spirit disappeared without a trace. Hanzo was nowhere to be seen, but the Oniwaban spent every single day constantly assuming he might be somewhere nearby. Yep, I like when you see a new character that you want and you're like, mine, dead shot on it.
俺は半蔵さんの助太刀をするんだ。こんなところでお前らに捕まっているわけにはいかん。
In the corner of Castletown, a foreign folk who was caught in a net was shouting loudly.
早くやっちゃって。後が詰まってる。
Okay. At Yuichi's insistence, I touched the foreign folk as he was frantically squirming around after getting caught in the net. I prayed and prayed with my whole heart that he could go back to his old self, to be set free from Hanzo's control, and then... Oh, did she finally get that power? I could see in his face that he was back to his law-abiding self, despite having hurled curses at us just moments before, his threads a fiery red. You know, they didn't say that she had that power a second ago. I was simultaneously relieved that I was successfully managed to purify him. Also wondering how many people I'd performed the snow sacrament on today. The city of Edo was currently in an uproar over the recent rash of foreign folk running rampant. Foreign folk who had been living completely ordinary lives suddenly went mad, demanding Genjuro show himself. Foreign folk, this was clearly Hanzo's doing. Foreign folk all over Edo fell victim to it even faster than the kidnappings. With no idea what was happening, people were beginning to fear the foreign folk themselves.
はあ、今日も一日江戸中を走り回って終わったんだけど。
We have no choice. If they were locked up in jail, we wouldn't be able to perform the snow sacrament on them. Yeah, we've got to wrap this up before anyone else finds them.
じゃなくて、俺が言ってるのはキリがないって話。だって一回注ぎしても半蔵にもう一回洗脳されたらまた暴走するわけじゃん。
Where do you get all this money, Blood? Well, I mean, how much are they actually, now that I think about it? Might depend on the size, too.
しかも下手人は霊体だからみんなに注意しろって言っても無駄だし。Where
do you have all the space for these plushies, actually, now that I think about it? I barely have room for all my chromies. All my rummies. True. Hearing him describe the situation like that made me want to have a big sigh, too. When Hanzo first ran amok, foreign folks simply fell asleep after being captured by him. We were glad to see brainwashing went away on its own once they woke up, but that only lasted momentarily before they started going on rampages without warning. Ever since, we've been working hard to perform the social sacrament on all the foreign folk before they woke up in order to prevent any further rampages. However, only foreign folk that have been involved with Hanzo at first, but now foreign folk we'd already performed the social sacrament on are starting to go crazy again. You have a second bed? Nice. Nice. Scraz, I think I need a second bed. This would never end, no matter how many times we purified them.
いなよ。あれ、形人じゃねえか。
Which, oh no.
本当だ。このご時世によく形人を連れて歩けるもんだね。暴れ出したらどうするつもりなんだか。
Uh-oh. There was one other thing bringing my mood down. I was catching snippets of conversations that I never would have expected to hear just walking around Edo before.
いっそのこと、形人なんか。
Oh,
みんな道具に
these
戻
kind of
しちまう。
conversations
安
again.
心して暮らせるのにな。
It kind of reminds me of being back in the village where living with foreign folk was banned. With townspeople staring at them and whispering, the foreign folk and his female companion, likely his owner, awkwardly made themselves smaller as they walked around. Hey, Yuichi, do you think Hanzo's trying to threaten us by making all these foreign folk run wild?
脅し？どういう意味？
184? I'm trying to think how many I have. Can't remember. We should make a goal. We should make a goal. How many plushes we should have. He's a spirit. He can go anywhere he wants, except for places with barriers around them. Wouldn't it be much easier for Hanzo to look for Kuga himself instead of manipulating foreign folk into doing it for him? So why is he doing this?
ああ、源十郎を差し出せ、かくまうなっていう半蔵からのことづけかもしれないってあんたは思ってるわけね。
Yeah. Not that we would ever hand him over. That's the absolute last thing I would want to do. If all Hanzo wanted to do was find Kuga, his method was terribly ineffective. I figure he must have some other motive.
町の人間でもそんなこと言ってるやつは多いよね。これは源十郎に殺されたやつの怨念とか呪いだとか微妙に正解なんだけど。
Ooh, over 1,000? Yes. Do small plushies count? I was trying to reach over something on the floor, but I couldn't reach it. No, it isn't. Kuga hasn't done anything to Hanzo.
でもあいつは未だに源十郎が仇だと思い込んでるからね。まあそれはいいとして、半蔵の狙いは明らかに江戸を混乱させることでしょう。だってこれだけ住民の心がめちゃくちゃなのに、自然発生の良いかは全く増えてない。半蔵が取り込んでるって考える方が自然じゃない？
The words rolled off Yuichi's tongue as if he'd collected his thoughts on this a long time ago. Does that mean the more mayhem there is in Edo, the more powerful Hanzo becomes? That would be horrible.
ありえない話じゃないだろ。
All
神の
plus
力を得
sizes
た良いか
count.
なんだから。
Nice. You should have at least one huge one. One huge one. Like as big as you or at least half.
形人を連れ去ったり、源十郎の悪い噂を流したのには、そういう意図もあった
I
の
hate
かもし
trying
れ
to
ないね。
figure out evil plans. I feel like we're always one step behind Hanzo. There was no getting around it. Finding a way to defeat a spirit Blightfall like Hanzo, something we had no precedent for, was going to take a long time. It frustrated me that everything aside from the battle was going swimmingly for Hanzo, like the rumors about Kuga or people bad-mouthing foreign folk. My single most important duty is to protect the people of Edo in order to make their lives even a bit more peaceful. And yet, defeating Blightfall, protecting the townsfolk way of life. Not being able to do either filled me with unease. I've been running around putting all my energy into snow sacraments, but essentially accomplished nothing.
川村たち来てないか。今日こそ半蔵を倒す手を見つけたって知らせがないか期待してたんだけど。
I guess not. We have to send a report to Miyuji's house later. After heading back to the base, I walked down the hallway with Yuichi. Kiyoshiro and the others would join us as soon as they had made some progress, figuring out a way to defeat Hanzo. The fact that they were nowhere to be seen meant that they were still investigating. Oh! Komami came hurtling out when she heard Yuichi's voice since I let her run free in my room. Ooh, nice. Very nice, blood. The next one, she was cheerfully nuzzling Yoichi's foot.
そっか。あんたも今拠点で暮らしてるんだっけ？源十郎の屋敷じゃなくて。
Hey Scribs, you there? Yeah, there's no point in guarding it without Kuga around, and it's dangerous over there since Hanzo knows where he lives. Ah, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Never mind. Speaking of which, Yuichi was no longer living here at the base. He was back to staying at Yanagi Brewery. To be perfectly honest, I thought he should stay here at the base since we were as busy as ever with Oniwaban tasks. Say, why don't you come live here again, Yuichi?
Yada.
No. You could at least keep an eye on Kuga. You know, it doesn't matter what you say. I can tell you're worried about.
してない。めんどい。
Hell no. I want that Tigaton. I want that Tigaton plush. He won't even give me the time of day. Aww, poor Komami. Komami clung onto Yuichi's foot, also saddened. See? Komami wants you to stay here with us too. I don't think she'll let you leave. I like how he's going for the bird now. Yuichi shot me a thoroughly annoyed look before kneeling down and picking Komami up in the palm of his hand.
じゃあ今晩だけ預かる。どうせ明日も一日あんたと行動するし。
Chirp? What?
報告書も俺が帰りついでに光重んとこに届けておくから。じゃあね。
What? While I stood there bewildered, Yuichi took an overjoyed Komami with him and left the base. Why doesn't he want to stay? He actually turned me down. I just thought he'd be a little lively around the base with Yuichi here, which might cheer Kuga up. I went back to my own room and sighed to myself. With Komami gone, it was the complete opposite of lively. The huge base was even more silent. Well, who knows if that would have even cheered him up anyway. Earlier, I've been so preoccupied with the idea that Vessels didn't ever feel depressed, or that Kuga might actually be annoyed that I was concerned about him. In other words, I didn't see Kuga as, well, himself. As a result, I ended up having to worry by himself for a while. That would never happen if I had more experience dealing with people. Thinking about it made me feel so bad for Kuga. I could feel my chest tighten up. But I know how to avoid repeating the same mistake. I'm gonna go talk to him. Yep. The animals get everything. I'm gonna adjust the way I'm sitting. I like how the bird convinced him. Kuga, it's Rosalind. May I come in? I called out to him since I could see a faint amount of light coming in from his room, but he didn't answer? Excuse me, Kuga? I feel Kuga's pain. I'm also stuck at home, not allowed to do much. When I quietly opened the sliding door... Ooh, a Bellsprout, actually. I don't know how I feel about Bellsprout, but I'd give it an okay. Hey, Scribes! Hands off! Paws off, man! No! How dare you? When I quietly opened the sliding door, Kuga straightened up on the tatami mat and continued staring intently at the wakizashi. Kuga had been like this ever since Miyaji had told him the story about his old owner. He used to brood like this a lot when he was ordered to stay home at his house. I could talk to him, but he probably wouldn't even notice. Normally, he was so sharp just standing in front of the door would have alerted him to my presence. That alone told me how deep he thought he was, which made me feel very conflicted. Kuga?
お前か。
Scribes, did you get the bill from the vet? Yeah, I'll be quick. I just came to give you the daily report. Kiyoshiro and the others are still investigating ways to defeat Hanzo, so we don't have anything to share. I told him that, first assuming he'd want to know that above all else, but he looked disappointed. Oh, neither of us caught the Bellsprout. Well, looked might be too strong of a word. Perhaps it was because I spent more time with Kuga than anyone else I'd met since coming to Edo. Ah, I would call them then. I have a victory bell now. Victory beeth mine! Thank you, Blood. Or maybe it was... I'm thinking about something. Okay, or maybe it was because I'd been worrying about him anytime I wasn't focused on work. But there was no way I could miss the nearly imperceivable change in his expression. Oh, he needs some guidance. Huh? Oh, yeah?
報告の前に少し私の話を聞いてくれないだろうか。とは言っても、お前に話して聞かすほど私の考えもまとまってはいないのだが。
What colors are shiny? Victory Bell or Bellsprout. Now I'm curious on that. Shiny Bellsprout. What does that look like? Oh! They don't give it good enough colors. I feel like they should have made it like more of a dark purple or something. The Victory Bell is at least decent.
「前に私が悩んでいるのだと教えてくれたとき、お前と話すことによって己の内側に存在する名状しがたい何かを理解することができた。今の私にはそれが必要だと思う。だからお前の
I came here because I needed to talk to him too. I never thought I'd hear Kuga say he wanted to talk to me. I'm so happy, I think? Or relieved? I don't know. If I had threads around my own neck, I'm sure they would have been a very... Why? What's an improper color? What's an improper color? As touched as I was that Kuga needed my support, I knew I shouldn't get carried away with myself while he was in trouble. Of course I'll help. Could you explain what's on your mind, just like you did last time? Ooh, shiny Celebi. It's a cute little pink. I steeled both my face and mind before sitting directly in front of Kuga, observing his view of the sword. Bring me a snack, Scribs! Bring me a snack! I steeled both my face and mind before sitting directly in front of Kuga, obscuring his view of the sword.
お前は
Whoa, 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 hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Why we confessing? What's with this confession all of a sudden? What? Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe he's not asking for a confession. Yes? I immediately let out a hysterical yelp, even though I just braced myself for the... I don't know if you were bracing yourself for this particular conversation. What do you mean by that?
私はお前からいやお前以外でもいいのだな
Okay, who would steal?
他の者
Alright,
から
that
何
makes
かを
sense.
盗もうとするような素
Hold
振
on,
り
I'm
を見
gonna
せた
text
ことがあったか
Scribs to see if I can send him a grocery list. I was really hoping that I would be able to bring my cat home today. But it looks like they do want to keep him over the night. They said that they would call it like 8. So I was hoping they'd be like, yeah, you can pick him up and take him home. I was hoping that would be the case. I think I'll let go of that one. I think I'll leave it like that. Okay. Yeah, but it seems that's not the case. Steal somebody else's things? You? I wasn't sure what he was getting at, which left me feeling even more confused. We have an ad break in about 3 minutes. When that ad break hits, feel free to take a stretch... Feel free to take a stretch break, water break, bathroom break, whatever you need, and we'll be right back. I myself will be taking that break as well. I will need it for my back. That break will be about 3 to 5 minutes. Leaving the ads on does help support the stream. We appreciate it. If you want to support the stream in any other way, we do have a Ko-fi down below. Otherwise, we'll be back after those 3 to 5 minutes. I'm definitely going to need it because I'm feeling some pain in my back a little bit. Woo! You would never. You're the sort of gentleman who would give away one of your rice balls even though you only packed 2 for lunch. Next question, alright?
次の質問だ
Alright.
私に対し傲慢だと思ったことはあるかまた夜道を共に歩いているとき隙を見て殺されそうだと感じたことは
No, you would let a butterfly walk past you first before you cross the street. Kuka was saying some pretty strange things. They were so strange, I had a feeling I knew exactly what he was worried about. You're talking about Gengao Mon Akuhira and not yourself, aren't you? You would never steal, you're not arrogant, and you wouldn't murder me. Absolutely not. Why are you so worried about that? Gengaomon Akuhiri was just your owner. You're your own person, Kuga. I knew he'd be unhappy this entire time that Hanzo equated him to Akuhiri, and that townspeople believed the rumors. I would never expect Kuka to start acting as if he and Akuhiri were the same person. I never would have, hold on. Kuka probably only thought this because he was worried. But knowing the kind of person he was, it made me incredibly sad that he thought that.
知っているか？主人の道具への思い入れがあまりに強い場合、
Boy!
形人は
No.
主人によく似た姿になるらしい。
What?
形人は物に宿る魂と主の思いが結びついて生まれる。その成り立ちを考えれば、主の強い愛着に影響を受けるのは不自然ではないように思う。まるで人間の親と子のように。だとすれば、
Ugh.
受け継がれるのは容姿だけではなく、内面もそうなのではないだろうか。
No. Would they? That would mean Kuka doubts about himself weren't completely unfounded.
お前は先ほど、私は盗みや殺しなどしないと言ってくれたな。私も自分ではそのつもりで生活していた。だがしかし、自分ではわからないうちに赤堀のような言動をしている可能性もなくはないと気にかかっていたのだ。
The 3-minute ad break has started. We will be right back. we are back. But I see the Swanna thing, so now I want to look at that. Always gotta check my Pokemon. Oh, that one. No, we good, we good. I'm getting hungry. I don't know if I finished everything that I needed to today. Anyone have like a to-do list? Oh, I need to set an alarm for tomorrow, otherwise I will forget. Okay, I set it. I'm good. There we go. Oh, where'd I put chat? There you are. No, really, you would never.
ありがとう。し
I
かし
don't know if he believes
今の
what we're
私
saying.
は心や記憶を封じられている。故にそれらしい面が出ていないだけで
Ugh,
解放され
I
る
don't
のは
think he's believing it.
赤堀と同じ極悪人なのかもしれん。封印が解ければ処分される身の上なのだから気に病む必要はないのだな。しかし私はいずれ己が己でなくなるやもしれんことが不安なのだろう。
Kuga murmured this before looking at me, a smile tugging at the corners of his lips.
やはり思った通りだ。
You know what? I need to pull up the
お前に話すと
route.
考えがまとまる。
We're on chapter like what? 6? We're on chapter 6. I know chapter 5 had no options. There's never usually options for chapter 5. And at least this will tell me. Oh, no! Chapter 6 has no options. And then chapter 7 is the end. Chapter 7 is the end and there's only one choice in chapter 7. So we're almost done with his route. And then what's after that? After this, we go through the bad endings. And after his route, there's a recommended route walk. There's a recommended reading. There is a recommended reading. Ugh, I knew it was the other guy. It's gonna be the redhead. And then we go for the white hair, and then we go for the last one. Yeah, so we're going near the end anyway. Ugh. Okay.
しかし困ったものだな。今回は不安の存在にこそ気づけたが、それを振り払う方法がない。以前は半蔵さえ倒せれば何とかなる悩みだったが、これはあいつが消えたところで済むものでもない。それに関係なく半蔵を滅するのは最優先事項だが。
Kuga. This had to be something that only worried him because he was a vessel. Humans didn't ever worry about resembling their masters or being otherwise influenced by them. Foreign folk didn't have their hearts and memories sealed away, so they had no need to worry about what would happen if the seal came undone. Wait, is that true? Didn't foreign folk, and humans for that matter, also worry about resembling or being influenced by other people? Especially the father-son relationship Kuga mentioned. Kuga, what I'm about to say might not make any sense at all. But do you mind if I share my thoughts too? Maybe we can think about what's bugging you
そう
together.
か。それは心強い。それで、
I'm gonna take a
お
self-hydrate.
前は私の話を聞いて、どんなことを思った？
Okay. I used to worry about something when I was little too. I always wondered why I was like this, even though my father wasn't a mind-reading demon himself.
悟りの化け物
Yes. Since I could see threads and tell people's emotions, mentioning it out loud made people afraid of me. I wondered why it was me. Thanks to Lord Yoshimun, I now know I inherited my mother's powers, and I've been blessed with opportunities to put them to good use. I knew nothing back then, and it filled me with unease. I nearly gave up hope a few times because I figured, what's the use? Wait, why am I even talking about this? I only started talking about it because I thought it might lead to something that would solve his problem. Oh, right. What I mean is, maybe Gengama Nakuhiri isn't the only person you resemble or were influenced by. That's how I felt when I learned I was a member of the Hakuseki clan. My powers were passed down to me from my mother, my grandma and grandpa, and all their ancestors. Thanks to Tomonari and Toji coming to get me and being sought out by the Oniwabin, I've stopped putting myself down as a monster. And yet, if I had never known about Hakusekis, I probably would have thought I was the only odd one out in the entire world. Finding out my powers had been passed down for a long time was a bit of a relief. It also made me realize my Hakuseki's abilities weren't the only thing I inherited.
能力だけじゃない
I don't remember her, but I think I also resemble my mom in ways that aren't just my ability to see threads. Mimi used to tell me all the time that I was a dead ringer for my dad. My habits, the way I laugh, when I was having fun, that's what it means to be family. Before you were you, when you were still just an object, you belonged to Hanzo's dad, right? He nodded, his eyes slightly downcast. Now that he knew Akuhiri stole him from killing Hanzo's father, the truth must have been difficult for him to swallow. Praying that what I was about to say would shift his view of the matter ever so slightly, I continued talking. Tools aren't used by a single person. Some are shared by families, staying in use over several generations. I'm sure you inherited many different qualities from everyone who wielded you with care, including Hanzo's dad and Hanzo himself. What I'm saying is, I don't think you need to worry about a single owner you had. Besides, you didn't only inherit your personality back when you were an object. You're who you are thanks to all the people you've met and experiences you had. And even if the seal on your heart and memories broke, I think you would still be you. I looked into Kuka's eyes and stated this very clearly.
私とお前は立場が違う気候と人間だ
Huh? I'd worked so hard to communicate my thoughts, but they didn't seem to resonate with Kuka
だ
at
から
all.
お前の先祖や両親の話と私に複数の持ち主が存在するという話に直接の関係はない
True, you're right.
しかし近しさを見出すことはできる重要なのは誰かから受け継いだものだけではないとお前は言いたいのだろう
Hi, Moon. How are you? Nice to see you here again. How was your weekend?
白石の一族に伝わる能力だけがお前の全てではないように
Right. You did inherit some of the things, and they might be important, but they're not everything.
ああお前の言う通りその一部分だけで己の全てが決定するという考えは物事の捉え方としていささか危険ではある
Wow. I'd done a terrible job of explaining, but Kuka was clever enough to fully grasp what I
とは
meant.
いえ 私と
thought
お
she
前が
made
同じだと
pretty
は
clear
や
what
はり
happened.
思えないが。
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? No, that makes sense. There's a lot to do and date everything. Yeah, I played quite a bit off stream just to find all the characters. It is a lot. It is a lot. Especially if you want to find certain characters, you have to play multiple files from what I understand. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's If it's not fun, it's interesting at least. It's interesting at least. Oh no! Do you have to get like a new PC, or it only hit it enough to, well, only has like small damage or anything? Do you have backup? Like your files and stuff saved backup somewhere? I saved all of my stuff on a what's it called again? Cloud? On the cloud?
いや、謝るな。私はただ不思議で仕方がないだけだ。
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. It makes for a good TikTok, though. A good TikTok short, anything like that. Huh?
今も言ったばかりだが、私はお前と自分の
Why
価
does
値
it
を
make it different? Okay,
別のも
whatever.
のだと感じている。
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Moon, since you're showing me a paw, that reminds me of something. Ready, set, beep. Hello. Hello. Meow. 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 You have a paw, I have a paw. That makes sense. Kitty. Yes, I kitty. We can do black kitty. Or we can do white kitty. Yay. We kitty, kitty, kitty. Exchange crystals and we transform. Yeah. Yeah. Exchange crystals and I can transform. Boop. For a little bit, 10 minutes. Little bit transformation, 10 minutes. When did the storm happen, or is it still like ongoing?
「それなのに、お前が過去に私と似たような悩みや不安を感じていたのだと知っただけ
Maybe
で、
he's just being factual.
感じていた苦しさが
Maybe he's just being
わずかに
factual
和ら
about
い
it.
だのだ。
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes me worried too whenever I start streaming when it starts like raining and stuff. Makes me uneasy. Makes me uneasy. But I get that. Yeah, be careful. Keep an eye out. Your safety is always priority. Your safety is always priority. I thought I completely messed that up, but I managed to help after all. The thought brightened my gloom mood considerably.
これはどういうことだろうか。いわゆる他人の不幸を喜ぶ
Yeah, he's
とい
being
うのか。
literal. Oh, there's a
いい趣味に
snow
も思えない
runt.
な。
There's a snow runt. I'm gonna catch me that. Ah, that's fair. Yep, I would do the same. That's a good idea, Moon. Well, that does happen sometimes. I wouldn't say they're glad others aren't happy, just relieved to know they're not the only ones going through
な
it.
ぜだ自分の悩みが消えるわけでもあるまい。
Good question. Maybe people are just relieved to know they're not alone.
お前も先ほどそのようなことを話していたな。
After thinking silently to himself for a little while, Kuka looked right at me one more time.
どうやらこの手のことにかけて私は赤子同然だし、人や形人の感情の基地を見て取るのは慣れたつもりだったが、己のことになるとどうにもうまくいかん。
Hi, how are you, Krot? Internet's fickle. Sometimes regular rain is fine, but thunderstorms. Yeah, sometimes, Moon, it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. Maybe it's a day to relax. Just kind of do something else. This weekend, I hurt my back, so it was just kind of a day. Those were just kind of days where I couldn't sit up and do stuff. It was more just get up and walk around. Since I couldn't sit down, I just had to get up and do other things in the meantime, or just kind of sit back and watch shows and stuff. So I caught up on shows that I was running behind on. Hi, Krot, how are you? I gotta see what I can do over here. Yeah, I hate when the phone does that. Ah, no worries, Blood. Always appreciate you stopping by. Oh boy, all this stuff happening over here too. No worries, Moon. I always appreciate you stopping by. Take time for self-care and be careful. Be careful.
その点、お前は私を導く死のようだ。それだけ人間というのは、こんな風に日々
You're leaving next
あらゆる
week.
ことに心
Oh,
を砕いて
okay.
いるということか。
Oh, okay. Where are you headed to? I guess so. I definitely think a lot though. Although you could also say I have a lot to worry about.
人もなかなか大変なのだな。しかし、簡単に答えの出ない悩みも多いだろう。今の私や幼い頃のお前のように。そういう時はどうする？やはりこうして誰かに話をして考えをまとめつつ、己の境遇に類似した他人の不安や苦労を聞くことで気を休めるのか。
Nice. That sounds amazing, Moon. Sure, you could say that, although that was a pretty blunt way to describe it. He wasn't wrong, but there had to be more positive method. Oh, right. Well, worrying over the same thing constantly will just wear you down and make you more depressed, won't it?
Ah.
So a lot of drinking? Since you'll just start worrying about things that never bothered you before, making things even harder, you should make time to take your mind off things. For example, petting Komami helps me.
小豆。お前の育てているスズメだったな。
Yeah, just holding her in my hand and feeling the warmth of another being is strangely soothing. Come to think of it, I remember hugging Mimi and my dad anytime I feel lonely or was going through a rough time as a kid. Now Komami feels that niche for me.
なるほど。
All right. My explanation seemed to be going much better this time. Kuga was listening to what I had to say with great interest. Then, just as I hoped...
私も小豆に触れていい？
He wants to pet the bird! Of course. Uh-oh.
どうした？
Oh, sorry. Yuichi's watching Komami today. Maybe they have something for them at the other ones. Maybe that's why they can go, but not the wintery one. Why today of all days? He never once offered to watch her for me until now. I found myself resenting Yuichi a bit, though he hadn't done anything wrong, but that was my fault for dragging him over, knowing he didn't want to in the first place. Sorry for bringing it up. She'll be back tomorrow.
そうか。では差し支えなければ。
I knew this was coming! I knew this was coming! I knew this was gonna come. Huh?
小豆がいないときは父や姉に抱きついていたのだろう。いや、父や姉に抱きつけないから小豆を手に乗せるようになったという話だったか。
That wasn't really the point, but I probably ought to be used to this by now, though. Hearing Kuga say things like that always took me by surprise, but I knew he had no underlying motives. I know this is in my head, and yet it still makes my heart skip a beat. Wait, now's not the time for this. Girl, I don't know why you're saying that, but okay. Of course you can. If it'll make you feel a little better, then let's give it a shot. My face was getting hotter every second, but I still opened my arms wide to show him I was ready for a hug. I don't like this. I can't even imagine. Now you're feeling awkward? Just like Komami, the first time she was offered food, Kuga eyed me with caution. No! I don't like the situation. He's not even sure how to give a hug.
うまくできるだろうか。
Oh, it's okay, I don't mind. CG! Oh, he looks so sad! He looks so sad! I feel so bad for him, he looks so sad! Oh, he looks so sad! All of a sudden, he closed the distance between us and I found myself staring at his chest. When he reached around my back, I could feel his sturdy arms and large hands touching me. I don't want to hydrate. I already hydrated. Fine. Don't worry about my complaints. They're free. My complaints come free. Ugh. Anyway. However, that's all he was doing. Honestly, it was more like he was hovering over me. Oh! Kuga, are you hugging me? I was extremely close to Kuga's chest and his hands were on my back, so I slightly feel how warm he
だ
was.
からうまくできるだろうかと言ったのだ。あまり強くするとお前が痛がるだろうし。
Aww. I feel like bringing out all the samurai husbandos. Let's see, which ones are samurais? Code Realize, Sweet Fuse. Hakoki, that's a samurai. Is this one a samurai? No, he's not a samurai. Why are they all in the same spot? Did you put them all in the same spot? Technically, he's kind of a Buddha. Oh, I can't put them all there. I thought they were put everywhere. Oh, they're put everywhere. They're put in the same spot. Beep, 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 beep. Ah, he's so pretty. Oh man, all the husbandos. Man, can't wait to add more. Anyway. No, I'll be fine. I told you too, so don't hold back.
わかった。
Aww. He looks so sad. That's not even... Oh, that just looks more sad than anything. She just looks really happy about it. My face was buried in his chest. At this point, my legs were no longer neatly tucked beneath me. Shista was up against Kuga's knees, sitting cross-legged like him. It made my heart pound. I can't even tell where she is.
痛くないか。
No.
そうか。しかし苦しむ
She looks like she's holding her breath.
息が
No, I'm not. I'm just nervous. But I couldn't bring myself to say it. Anyway, don't worry, I'm fine. If it hurt, I'd tell you.
ああ、そうしてくれ。痛くても言ってくれ。
Kuga's really... There was no use giving it any more thought. Although we were touching, Kuga's heart definitely wasn't racing like mine was.
温かいな。
Aww. Yeah, you are too, you know.
というより熱い。
You're hot. That was probably all my fault. Sorry, should we stop?
それは離れてほしいという意
No,
味。
he doesn't want to stop! Huh? No, that's not what I mean. I just thought you were complaining I was too warm.
いい。
This seems effective!
お前の心臓の音は大きいな。これが伝わってくると確かに落ち着くような気がする。お前にもこんな風に私の胸の
Aww.
音が聞こえてるんだろうか。
This is cute. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. He seems to really like it and was just quietly standing there holding me in his embrace. He's probably feeling pretty warm himself from doing this. Besides, my heartbeat. It really wasn't beating all that loudly, but he could feel it steady thumping because we were holding each other so tightly. This all started out as a way to soothe his anxiety, but I probably found it way more relieving than he did. I knew it. He's no different from me. His heart and memories are just sealed away. No, even the seal doesn't matter when we're together. Kuga probably wouldn't agree with this line of thought since he just got done telling me humans and vessels were different. Still, I only just realized by touching each other like this that his body was warm, and his heart made noise when it beat too. My nose was buried in his kimono, which smelled faintly of sweet... Ew! Sweat mixed with incense. Trapinch! When I looked up, I occasionally glimpsed his Adam's apple moving. Why did they add this? Okay. What do I do? I want to keep doing this for as long as possible. I wasn't sure why I felt so heartbroken and frustrated. Guga would probably marvel if I said I wasn't quite sure what emotion I was feeling right now, even though my own heart didn't have a seal on it. Girl, no, you making me embarrassed. You making me embarrassed up over here reading all this. I feel like I'm reading someone's diary. None. None. Ah! Do you mind if I hug you back? Oh. I was so nervous, my voice cracked. I couldn't help that my throat was dry, so I cleared it a few times to moisten it.
Come on.
Oh, this is so cute! Kuga's voice was quieter than usual despite how close he was. It made my ears tickle a bit. As nervous as I was, I put my arms around his broad shoulders and gently rested them there, like what he had done at first. What's wrong? I might just be imagining things, but do I detect him silently trying to tell me that's not quite what I was supposed to do? Maybe it was my imagination. Still, it was also a bit weird of me to get cold feet when I just told him not to hold back. Here goes. I gave him a squeeze with my arms I just wrapped around him. Uh-oh. Are you showing him a different kind of hug? He silently hugged me back a bit harder than before. This hurts a little. I wasn't sure if it hurt because he was putting too much arm into it or because my heart was beating too fast. But he'd pull away if I told him that, so I silently reveled in his warmth. I was hoping we'd be on chapter 7 by now. The next day I got dressed and then walked down the hallway rubbing my sleepy eyes. I was so nervous after that I couldn't sleep. Fortunately, that didn't mean I hadn't slept a single wink all night. Still, I was clearly more sleep-deprived than usual. Weird. I was nervous the first time I slept in the same room as Kuga, and then things got hairy in the litter, but I managed to sleep in just fine both times. Well, we had ended up battling Hanzo immediately after what had happened in the litter, so why are they calling it the litter? So I could chalk it up to having bigger things to worry about at the time. Scrubs, can I have a Kit Kat? Besides, we had hugged last night. I'd probably just been a bit flustered by how long we had held each other. Okay, time to forget about that. Komami will be back today, so he won't need hugs from me anymore. I was fully aware of how awkward I was still being, but that would go away on its own like it always did once I was forced on work. Right. What's the big deal if Kuga and I run into each other here at the base when no one else is... Oh, I forgot to get rid of the blushing. Okay, that wasn't it. There we go. I was so lost in my thoughts that it took me a few seconds too long to even notice Komami at my feet. Komami, what happened? I woke up early this morning to pick you up from Yuichi's. Komami appeared almost gallant as she looked at me.
俺が先に余一のところに行って起こしてきたんだ。今日はまず拠点に集まってほしかったからね。
I'm gonna eat a Kit Kat while this is going.
俺ほんとついさっき寝たとこだったんだけどな。
でも飛び起きただろ。ついに半蔵へ一矢報いれるかもしれないんだから。
宮地だの。それに皆も。
源十郎、お前も広間へ来い。 これよりお前たちに霊体型よいか半蔵を倒す方法を共有する。
この辺はもう俺が言うまでもなくみんな分かってるだろうけど、形人が良いかとなった場合、考えうる倒し方は2つだ。一つは形人の元になった道具を壊すこと、そしてもう一つは一時的なものになるけど実体化の要となっている木札を破壊すること。しかし半蔵にはいずれも通用しない。相手は霊体だから木札は見えていても触れないし、あの体じゃ道具だって持ち歩けないはずだ。となるとどこかに隠していることになるが、半蔵の故郷にあるのか、それとも道具ごと霊体化しているのか、可能性が多すぎて捜索は難しい。
They're talking about how to get rid of him, but he's a spirit. Normally, to get rid of an object, you have to cut the tag or the object it's made from, which I remember.
だから俺たちは霊体である半蔵本人をどうにかするための方法を探った。そして半蔵の霊体、魂とより代になる形人を結びつけるしかないという結論に至った。要するに半蔵を普通の形人と変わらない存在にするんだ。そうすれば元となる道具を切ることで消滅させられるはずだよ。
Miyagi's thorough explanation only convinced me for a brief moment before I realized something else had suddenly began to feel nervous. If Hansel's soul needs to bind to a form folk, does that mean we'll be killing the form folk he's possessing?
バカなことを。そんな血も涙もない手が使えるか。こちらで仮の器を用意してやるつもりだ。
A container.
そうだ。霊体である半蔵には本体が実質存在しない。なぜそんな摩訶不思議な状態で消滅していないのかは疑問だが、まあそれもあいつの言う神の力だろう。
Alright then.
ならば、こちらであいつの名前を刻んだ寄付だと、それに対応する器を提供してやればいい。つまり、器が半蔵の本体になるわけだ。その器に半蔵の魂が結びついている間に器を破壊すれば、半蔵を討伐できるだろう。
なんか簡単そうに言ってるけど、それって結構大変じゃね？
Yeah, I'm not sure Hansel will obediently get into that container for us.
そこはちゃんと細工しておくよ。器が完成したら詳しい使用方法を教えるね。
ほーん、ならいいけど。
That was our plan of action for now. No one in the Oni weapon seemed to have any objections as they nodded in agreement. Kuka had simply been quietly watching this go down, but I didn't notice that the hand on his lap was clenched into a tight fist. The day after we decided on a course of action, there was one other gratifying development. Mitsu! As soon as Otone invited us in, I ran over to Mitsu, who was just getting out of bed.
Yoichi-san mo.
Mitsu smiled at Yuichi and I while Otone propped her up from her bed. She still seemed a bit sleepy, but was otherwise well. The snow sacrament was performed on Mitsu while she was sleeping. Seems to have worked. Relieved, I asked how she was doing. I'm so glad you woke up. Are you feeling okay?
はい。何日も寝ていたからか。今はもう何ともなくて。 帰ってきた時は体中ボロボロだったのよって言っても、この子何も覚えてないみたいなんです。かどわかされていた間のことも。
そう。でも半蔵に洗脳されてた形人は大体そう言うよ。何も覚えてなくて、ただぐっすり寝てたような気しかしないって。
Yuichi was telling the truth, but Mitsu hadn't just been controlled by Hanzo. Hanzo's spirit had taken over and turned her form-folk body into a Blightfall. She had more direct contact with him than any of the other form-folk who were harmed. Mitsu, I'm sorry to ask you something so taxing after you just woke up, but what do you remember, no matter how insignificant it might seem?
覚えていること、記憶が曖昧になったのは、この長屋に見知らぬ男の人が来た直後です。
Was that when Hanzo came? He would have been himself at that point in time.
彼とは何か話したような気がするんですが、その後はよく覚えていません。
そう。
I guess I can't really blame her for not remembering that part. Do you remember anything else? After placing a hand by her mouth and thinking to herself for a spell, Mitsu began to speak a bit shyly.
これはあまり関係ない気がするんですが、その後はずっととても幸せな夢を見ていました。
夢？
はい。夢の中の私は男の子で、ある仲のいい家族の一員として暮らしていたんです。お兄さんが3人もいて、私は夢の中でも形人だったのですが、全員に本物の家族として迎え入れてもらっていました。
I involuntarily gasped when Mitsu said this. You can't mean...
やはり関係ないですか？私が紙切りになってしまっていた時は、もっと恐ろしい夢ばかり見ていましたし。
Oh no, don't worry about it. I want you to tell us anything you remember.
そうですか。なら。
After that, Mitsu told us everything she remembered, experiencing in her dream. About being held by the boy's mother and father, tears streaming down their faces when he transformed from a tool into form folk. The happy days he spent being doted on by his 3 older brothers and treated him just like their own little brother.
どんどん成長していく兄弟たちに追いつけるように、ちゃんとした
So is this
家
like
族だと周りにも受け入
Harry
れてもら
Potter
えるように。
separating when he goes into someone, he shares their memories and stuff, so he's like dividing himself or something like that?
私は毎年、いえ、毎月、毎日かもしれません。少しずつ姿を変化させて、人間のように振る舞っていました。そう、確か私は家族からは半蔵と呼ばれていたような。
Yeah, something like that. No, it can't be. What could that even mean? They were hardly comparable, but the crimes Hanzo had committed were much more serious than the Kamikiri. But instead of seeing something horrifying or blightful as Zeke, the person Hanzo assimilated with could only remember when he had been happy. Didn't that prove Hanzo's heart was still filled with love for the family he had lost? But he was covered in so many negative emotions that were practically pouring from him. Realizing all over again that Hanzo's fiercely held grudge came from such earnest, pure place left me speechless. Kuga must have been in Hanzo's happy memories too. But Kuga wasn't family to Hanzo. He only saw Kuga as the adversary who robbed him of everything he treasured, person he'd used every trick in the book to kill.
今話していて思い出したんですが、
Meow-t had been recounting her happy dream with a spellbound look on her face and up until the point, but then began to speak like she had come to her senses.
私の意識が朦朧とする前、夢の中の私、形人の男の子とよく似た声が聞こえたんです。そう、確か良いかの匂いがするいい器だって。
After leaving the row house where Oton and Mitsu lived, Yoichi and I hurried back to the base to tell everyone. The additional information Mitsu had provided us with was as follows. Mitsu had been targeted because she was a form folk who had morphed into a Blightfall herself in the past. Hanzo appeared to have successfully swapped containers the moment he had encountered Mitsu, but it had taken time for him to completely take over her consciousness. Apparently, Hanzo had said all of this himself, so that's why his tracks stopped there. I guess foreign folk who share a connection to Blightfall are better equipped to use his powers. When we fought him earlier.
ただ、神の力は強大すぎて、なかなか生かしきれる器が見つからないのが困ったものだが、それも些細なこと。
That makes sense as why she was at the beginning of the story and then the story changed to him. That was what he'd said at the time. With some thought, I could probably guess why he had chosen Mitsu instead of another form folk too. But with our attention already split between the Berserk form folk and Edo, which was taking a turn for the worse as a result, we were one step ahead Hanzo yet again. No, it's not too late. Since our last battle, Hanzo had been using form folk to throw Edo into further chaos, yet he hadn't done anything himself. It seemed like he still hadn't found a new container to replace Mitsu. Unable to contain my impatience, I said something to Yoichi as he walked ahead of me. Yoichi, who do you think he'll target next? Mitsu is the only form folk who had turned into a Blightfall, and at that point, I don't think Hanzo would possess form folk who can't fully manifest his powers.
良いかの匂いがする形人は何も自分が良いかになったやつだけじゃないんじゃない？良いかに接触したことで汚染された形人とか。例えば水茶屋の美春さんなんか残留思念に飲まれてずっと意識をなくしてたし。
The moment I heard Yoichi say her name, I grabbed him by the arm and took off running.
うわ、ちょっと報告に行くんじゃないの？
Did you not realize what you just said? I need to make sure Mimi's okay first.
はあ、確かにそうだね。はいはい。
I really don't like characters that don't care. Yoichi wriggled out of my grasp and then ran ahead of me to the tea stall where she worked. But I started running before he did. As grateful as I was that he'd get there a little bit sooner, watching Yoichi get farther away in the blink of an eye, even though he had been lethargic moments ago, made me painfully aware that I needed to train more. He's also male, I'm just saying, and had more training.
もう本当に大変なのよ。最近は形人ってだけで変な目で見られるから木札も堂々と持ち歩けないし。あ、お店のご主人は私を信じてくれてるからそれは平気なんだけど、でも中には形人を働かせてるだけで文句を言ってくる意地悪な人もいるの。私のせいでお店に迷惑はかけられないから今はこうして裏方の仕事を。これでも看板娘なのにひどいったらないわよね。
The face of the tea stall. We had come running to the tea stall out of concern that something would be happening to Mimi. Right that second, but we were relieved to find things surprisingly peaceful. I'm gonna save this though for next time, because my back and neck are starting to get to me a little bit. So, in order to not overdo it, I'm gonna save it for another day. So thank you everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate it. We'll be back at it again on Thursday with Date Everything. I think I might stream this for the rest of the month, Date Everything. And then I might just leave it from there. I'm gonna see how far... Thank you. I'm gonna see how popular the game stays and kind of go from there. But yeah, we'll do Date Everything on Thursday. Next week is going to be a craft day. We'll see how well that kind of sets itself up to be. We'll be making necklaces from characters from... it's an anime, it's a card game, it's also a video game. Oh, fudge, I can never remember the name. Hold on. It starts with an H and I can't remember. I said H. I got it wrong anyway. Token Rambu. Characters from Token Rambu. I am going to have to remember how it works, though. It's going to be a lot of hits. It's going to be a lot of misses. It's going to be a lot of misses and then some hits. Yeah, no, Token Rambu started off as a PC game over in Japan. Then it made its way over in Vanguard. It's a card game. And then it made its way over as an anime. Not sure which came first, but yeah, then it made its... Oop. Might as well snooze that, actually. Did we snooze that ad? Oh, you're on mobile. Okay, I already snoozed it. But yeah, we will... I already snoozed it. So I'll try to make this quick. Yeah, that's it was a PC game, made its way over to Vanguard. It became multiple animes. And had a video game on Switch. Yeah, made its way in a lot of ways. But I'm using a lot of the leftover cards that I have, and there's a lot to make necklaces, bracelets, things like that. But yeah, we'll be doing that next week. So this Thursday, Date Everything. Next week will be for crafting, making necklaces on Tuesday. Then again, Date Everything on Thursday. I'm hoping to reveal... yeah, there's a lot. I'm hoping to reveal a new model in August to finish off the summer month. I'm hoping that it'll go along swimmingly. I just need to finish off the model and get the rights to it, hopefully. And yeah, then I'll have a new model in September. I'll see how that goes. I don't think it'll be permanent. I just have to get it finished off, really. But yeah, that is how that's going. That's what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to see who we can raid. In the meantime, it's probably going to be a friend or another VTuber, since there's not anyone who's probably going to be playing this game right now. I'm actually surprised. I'm seeing a lot of people I thought that it was inappropriate for small VTubers to raid bigger VTubers. And by bigger VTubers, I mean like someone with, let's say, 1 view raiding someone that has like 1,000 views. I thought that that was inappropriate or not allowed or something like that. I just thought it was like not allowed or not good to see or like do. I don't know. That's just something that I thought. But I actually saw more people do it than I thought. And they were okay with this. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's actually okay. I want to do it, but I feel like but I'm still too scared to do it. I actually just saw a friend of mine start streaming, and I'm trying to find their stream right now. Yeah. I just saw a friend of mine streaming and I'm trying to find their stream right now. But I can't find them. Oh wow, this other person just changed their model completely. Oh, there they are. They're actually playing Date Everything, so we're going to be rating Izuki Umbra. A good friend of mine, and I'm actually surprised that they're doing Date Everything. I can't wait to actually see their reaction. They just started streaming not too long ago. Good friend of mine, good chap. They also have a 2D model, which they actually updated recently. So grab your broomsticks if you don't have your license, which you should, by the way. It's really good to have, actually. It's very convenient. It's very fun. It's very fun to have your broomstick. But anyway, grab your broomsticks, grab your potions. I hope you remember the spell, because if you don't, it's actually not good. It's really not good if you don't know the spell well. Anyway, let's head on over, bring the good vibes, good powder, good streams, good times, and I'll see you, Sparkles, next time. Bye-bye!